Hey guys, so it's my first video for you guys. I just kind of want to go over some basics that are very important to know with Google. So the first thing I want to go over is what a search query is. So a search query is essentially when you Google something. Okay, so every day, millions, probably billions of people are, searching for different services, you name it. I'm guessing all of you probably search Google, 50, 60. I know myself, I search it a ton every single day. And it's where people go to when they want to find a business or buy something or really any of the above. And so that's the first definition I want you guys to learn. It's what a search query is. So let's just do a search query right now. Let's say we need a roof repaired, okay? There was a hailstorm, so we say roof repair near me. That's a very common search. All right, hit enter. All right, so what you're going to see up top here, this is how Google is as big as they are today. It's their product. They used to call it Google AdWords. Now they call it Google Ads. And so it's going to be any listing you see that has ad next to it. Okay, so typically there's going to be 4 on the top. Not always. Sometimes there's 3. Sometimes there's none. But typically there's 4 on the top, 4 ads. Now these are all different businesses, okay? And sometimes there's even an ad in here. Typically there's 3 listings in here, but sometimes there's 4, and the one on the top says ad next to it. And then if you scroll to the bottom here, you're going to see there's typically 3 more ads. And so just remember, what we do is the listings with ad next to them. So all of these listings here that don't have ad next to them, that is something other than what we do. So again, typically there are 3 ads on the bottom and 4 ads on top, and these are all individual businesses. Next definition for you guys is a keyword. So a keyword is just one word, just like it sounds. It's typically, it's a part of a search query. Okay, so a search query, like I was saying, roof cleaning near me, that's 4 keywords in that phrase. Okay, so you could call it a search query, but you can also call it a key phrase. All right, and a key phrase is just several different keywords. So next thing we're going to go over is some actual Google ad terminology. All right, and this is actually terminology that you would learn if you're working just in the advertising industry in general. Okay, and that word is impression right here. All right, so what's an impression? Well, when we do a search right here, let's say roof cleaning near me, right now all of these businesses got 1 impression. Okay, an impression typically means, it does mean the ad showed up on the page. So it doesn't necessarily mean someone saw the ad. What it means is the ad was on the page. So even these guys down here, let's say I type this in, roof cleaning near me, and I don't even scroll down the page. Well, all these guys, they still got 1 impression, okay, even though I didn't scroll all the way down the page. So if the ad is present on the page when you do a search, that's 1 impression. So all of these companies have gotten 1. Let's hit enter again. Let's see what happens. Probably there's going to be some new. Okay, so this one showed up again. This guy just got another impression. Okay, so now he's had 2 impressions. So The next thing I would like to go over is what a click is. Okay, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? A click is just when you click on someone's ad. All right, so there's impressions, or when you Google something and the ad shows up on the page. A click is when you've clicked on one of those ads. So the next thing I'd like to go through is click-through rate. Now this is a very important concept here. Okay, so what click-through rate is, let's just say that I do a Google search for roof cleaning near me 100 different times, okay, and I just keep hitting enter, right? Just keep hitting enter. And out of those 100 times, let's say this ad shows up 10 times. Or let's say it shows up the whole 100 times. It doesn't matter. But this ad shows up 100 times, and so 100 impressions. It appears on the page 100 times. But out of those 100 times, I click on it 10 times. Okay? So 10 clicks, 100 impressions. All click-through rate is just it's a fraction essentially. So 10 out of 100, that's what, 1 in 10. So it's 10%. Okay, so click-through rate is always a percentage, and so all it is it's clicks divided by impressions. Okay, so clicks on the top, impressions on the bottom, and it gives you a percentage. This is important to know because Google actually wants you to have a high click-through rate, okay? Think about it this way. How does Google make money? They make money when people click on these ads, okay? Because when someone clicks on one of these ads, this company right here, they have to pay money for that click. All right, so Google wants people to click on these. They don't want people clicking down here in these listings or in these listings, because they don't make any money when people click on any of the listings that don't say ad next to them. So they want you clicking on their ads. That's how they make money. So businesses that have a high click-through rate, Google's going to favor them. They're going to like them. And when Google favors you, you actually get a lower cost per click than your competitors, okay? So each of these listings here, all of these guys, they pay a different amount for a click than these guys do, okay? So let's just say these guys right here, they've done everything right, and I'm going to go into another video and explain the right things you need to do, but they've done everything right, and they're paying, let's say, $5 for a click. This company, and this company has, let's say they have a 10% click-through rate, okay? So that's a good click-through rate. Good click-through rates differ by industry, but let's just say this company has a 10% click-through rate, and let's say this company right here only has a 2% click-through rate. Okay, so think about it. Who's Google going to make more money off of? They're going to make more money off this ad right here, because 10% of the people that see this ad, or I'm sorry, 10% of the times this ad shows up on a page, people click on it, Google makes money. With this ad, only 2% of the time it shows up on a page are people, or is Google going to make money? So Google's like, okay, well, this business right here isn't making us any money, so we need to charge them more for their click, because they haven't set up the account correctly, and so we are going to essentially penalize them for building their account incorrectly, and so we're going to charge these guys $15 a click, and these guys are going to be, $5 a click. Because think about it, at a 2% click-through rate, okay, this company, so let's say out of 100 impressions, this company only gets 2 clicks. The clicks are $15 each, so Google makes $30. But out of 100 impressions, this company gets clicked on 10 times, okay, at $5 each. So Google's making $50 for every 100 impressions this ad gets. They're only making 15 for this ad. Or I'm sorry, $30 because they pay $15 a click and they're getting 2 out of 100 clicks, 2% click-through rate. So every 100 impressions is $30 for Google. And for this company, they get $50 for every 100 impressions. So that's a very important concept to kind of grasp, because you want to build, if you build your account correctly, you can have a high click-through rate and pay less money for your clicks. Okay, so now that you guys have a decent understanding of impressions, what they are, what clicks are, and what click-through rate is, let's actually check out an actual Google ad interface. Okay, so I just went into a new Google ad campaign. And so what I want to do first is I want to look at the most recent relevant data. So what we're going to do is, in the upper right hand corner, you see here, this is a date range, and it will give you all of the data, in all time, the past year, past month, past week, past day. So what I do is I go here, and I'm going to go to last 30 days. And next, I'm going to click on keywords. Or, yeah, actually, let's first go to campaigns. We can go to keywords in a little while. So I know a lot of this looks confusing. Let's get the relevant data up here. So let me show you all what I'm doing. So I click on campaigns, and as you can see, these columns here, they're different data points in these columns. See this IMPR? That's impressions. Remember when we were talking about this? But let's get the most relevant ones to what we are doing. So memorize this and do this every time. Let's go to columns, okay? Because we're going to modify these. So we go to columns, and then we're going to let's X out all of these right here, okay? Now let's go to performance, and we're going to click on, let's find impressions. Where are impressions? Right here, okay? Then let's do clicks and click-through rate. That's all we're going to focus on at this point. Let's just check those out because we just learned what those things were, okay? Now, I know that you're not seeing anything here. Part of the issue is lots of these campaigns are not running. You see how there's a red X to them? That means the campaign isn't actually running. So what we're going to do is we're going to click up here to status all, and we're going to just go to all enabled. So remember, we're in the campaign section, and we're going to go to all enabled. That's just going to show us the campaigns that are currently running. Okay? Next, let's click on this impression button to sort by the campaign that has the most impressions. Perfect. So as you can see, this campaign has 18,000 impressions in the past 30 days. It's got 147 clicks and under a 1% click-through rate. Okay, so I'm guessing Google isn't going to like this campaign very much because they're not making very good money on it. So again, all you do is you click on campaigns, then columns, and then just these 3 columns because we're still kind of learning what these things are. Next, we're going to go over average cost per click and what that all means. Hey guys, so next we are going to go over what these things are: average cost per click and average position. Okay, so every time, let's go back to Google. Every time you do a search here and you get someone clicking on your ad, you pay a different amount for every click. How Google Ads works is it's kind of like an auction. Okay, so you might have 100 to 200 to maybe 1,000 businesses in one area that are bidding on certain keywords and key phrases. Okay, so let's just say in this little area right here around Fountain Valley, Westminster, Garden Grove, let's say there's 50 businesses. Okay, and they've got, let's say all of them have the same keyword. Okay, so they're all bidding on roof cleaning near me. And the people that have, the businesses that have the good campaigns with the high click-through rates, they're going to be paying less per click on average. And so throughout the day, let's say this business, let's say they budget $100 a day. Okay, and they, for $100 a day, their average cost per click is $5. So they get 20 clicks a day, right? $100, $5 a click. That's 20 clicks for the day. But each click is not $5, okay? Some clicks are going to be more, some clicks are going to be less. But the average is going to be $5. So there might be some that are only $3, some that are $7 or $8 or $10. So let's actually see what that looks like in the Google Ad interface. So we're back to this interface. Now what we're going to do is, remember, we're going to click on campaigns. Okay? Make sure it says the last 30 days of data. It can also be the last 7 days, but you get a good idea of a campaign in the last 30 days. So that's usually what I like to use. Okay. Now we want some different data here, right? We want to see what the average cost per click and the average position is. Okay. So let's click on columns, modify columns. Let's get rid of these. And let's go to average cost per click and average position and hit apply. Okay, so let's see what campaign has the highest. Okay, it looks like this one in Jacksonville, the average cost per click is $11.40. Now let's actually go in. This is a campaign that's going to have lots of keywords in it. Let's see what that actually looks like. So if we click on it, you're going to notice this changes. It's going to go into the ad group. So watch it. See that? Okay. Now we're in ad groups. Now ad groups are actually very simple what they are. Ad groups are two things and two things only. Ad groups are ads. Okay, remember these? The actual ad itself, they are these. And ad groups are also keywords. That's all that makes up an ad group. Ads and keywords. Okay? So let's click in one of these and you're going to notice it drops down into and shows you the actual keywords. Okay, so let's look at window washing. Let's click on that. These are this campaign's actual keywords right here. Okay. And we can actually see the ads that these keywords trigger. So remember when I was saying that was talking about keywords and key phrases? These are the keywords that you actually add into your own account. And when one of these keywords is triggered, it's going to show one of these ads. Okay? So if you look here, you're going to notice this looks very similar to this because it's the same thing. Okay, these are the actual ads. And what happens is when any one of these keywords is triggered, any one of them, Google will show one of these ads. So let's go back into the keywords. What you're going to see is, let's go back to columns. Remember, we just want to focus right now on average cost per click and average position. So let's go here. Let's get rid of all these columns, okay? So let's go average CPC and then average POS, okay? So let's go here and let's only look at the keywords that are actually enabled. So let's go to all enabled. And then let's do this. Okay. So as you can see, these different keywords, they have different average cost per click. And if you see here where it says average position, okay, well, what does that mean? Okay, so every time you do a search, the ad shows up in a different spot. You notice how this ad, roof cleaning 1, it's number 1 right now. Let's do another search. Okay, it's still number 1. Let's do another search. Okay, it's still number 1. Anyways, these positions change all the time. And usually every search, it's going to be a different position, okay? It's going to bounce around. So let's say it's position 1. Let's say out of 100 searches, it's position 1 10% of the time. It's position 2 30% of the time. It's position 3 40% of the time. What we're going to end up getting, and I will illustrate this. So if the keyword is roof repair near me, let's just pretend these are different people, right? Searching throughout the day. So let's say someone types this in, and the first time the position is going to be 1. Position. Okay. So another person searches from somewhere else. It shows up 1 again. Then someone searches from somewhere else. And this is what's happening throughout the day. So let's see, out of these 15 searches, let's see what the oops, I am brushing up on my skills here. Let's just say, so sum of all of these is 44. Now let's divide that by, let's see, there's 15 searches. So let's do divided by 15. So 2.9. So the average position out of all of these searches would be 2.9. Okay? So when you see average position in here of 1.2, this probably looks more like this. So this keyword is showing up in the top position most of the time. And so average cost per click is throughout the day, again, if you, let's say, have 20 clicks, some are going to be cheaper than others. It changes every single time someone clicks. You're not paying the same amount. Every single click you get, you're paying a different amount for. And it's never the same. But you want to see the average throughout the day, or for this, throughout the month, because it's important data to have. Okay, so far we know what a search query is, a keyword, a key phrase, an impression, a click, click-through rate, the average cost per click, what that is, and average position. Next, what's a conversion? Well, let's check it out. So, a conversion is actually very simple. All a conversion is a desired action. A conversion is an action you want someone to take when they go to your page, okay? So for this page right here, what do you want people to do? So when someone clicks on your ad, what are they actually doing? When someone clicks on your ad, they go to your website or landing page, which a landing page is just a one-page website. So someone clicks on your ad, you pay for that click. They go to this page. Okay, what does the business owner want? What's the whole point of paying money for someone clicking on your ad? Well, it's to either get them to give you a call here, okay, calling this number, which we can track that. We can track when someone calls this number. It's a recorded line, so we know if someone clicks on their ad and calls this number, we know that came from Google Ads. Or someone clicks here and they fill out their information and hit get quote. Okay, those are the two things we want. We want phone calls, or we want to get a quote. And when they fill this out, it actually sends them an email. So those are the two things we want. And those are conversions. Okay, so a conversion is a phone call, or a conversion can be someone requesting a quote. Okay? Now, what is cost per conversion? All right? Well, think about this. All right? A conversion is either when someone fills this out, a quote form, or a phone call. But it takes several clicks, several people going to this page. Not everyone who clicks on your ad and goes to this page is going to call you or fill out a form. All right? So let's say 1 in 4 people that go to the page call or fill out a form. Okay? 1 in 4 people. Okay? And let's say that the average of those 4 clicks cost $5 per click. All right? So 4 people went to the page. Okay? 4 clicks. And the average was $5 a click. So how much did you pay there? If you're decent or any good at math, you know you paid $20 for those 4 clicks, right? Because it's $5 a click. And only one person called. Let's say they called. So one person called and you spent $20. So your cost per conversion is $20. Okay? And again, conversion is either a phone call or a form. Now, if I said, one of those people filled out a form, your cost per conversion would be the same, because a conversion is a form or a phone call. Okay? So $20 was how much the conversion cost. Now, conversion rate means the percentage of people percentage of, let's say, visitors, people that clicked on your ad, of, let's say, people that clicked on your ad that actually called, filled out a form. Okay, so let's just say you got 100 clicks, okay, and 100 people went to this page right here, okay? So 100 different people went, looked around this page. Okay, let's say that out of those 100 people, 10 out of those 100 people, 10 people called and 10 people filled out a form. So if you've been following along, how many conversions total is that? It's 20, right? So 20 total conversions out of how many people? Out of 100 people. Okay, so let's do some quick math. So 20 out of 100, you have a 20% conversion rate. Okay, well, why does that matter? Because think about it. You're paying for people to go to the site. Okay, every single click costs you money. So you want to have the highest conversion rate possible, because what if out of those 100 people, let's say only 2 out of 100 called or filled out a form. So keep in mind, those 100 people visiting your site, that's 100 clicks, okay? So those 100 clicks cost $5 per click, which that's $500 right there, right? $500, but only 2 people, one person called, one person filled out a form. Only 2 people, you can call it converted. So what did you just pay per conversion? What was your cost per conversion? Is, you guessed it, $250. Wow, that's a lot. But if you had 20 out of those 100 people, call or fill out a form. So that'd be 500 divided by 20 equals 25 per conversion. So $25 per phone call or form. So that's the whole goal, guys, is to get the cost per conversion as low as possible. Okay? So that's a very important concept.